The distress signal came through at exactly 3 in the morning, ship time. Captain Elena Vasquez was already awake, staring at the star map in her quarters when the alarm cut through the silence of the ISS Meridian. She reached her command deck in under 2 minutes, her boots echoing through the metal corridors. "Report," she demanded, sliding into her chair. Lieutenant Park turned from his console, his face pale under the blue glow of the screens. "Convoy Theta 7, Captain. They hit them near the Kessler Nebula. 12 cargo ships. Medical supplies, food rations, and colony equipment bound for New Helsinki." Elena felt her stomach drop. Survivors? 3 ships managed to jump out. The rest, Park swallowed hard. "The Marauders didn't leave survivors, Captain. They never do. The Vakari Marauders had been a problem for nearly 2 decades. They operated from the edge of known space, striking human supply lines with brutal efficiency. They were not a nation or an empire. They were simply predators. Their ships were fast, their weapons were deadly, and their cruelty was legendary throughout the galaxy. For years, humanity had tried diplomacy. They had tried paying tribute. They had tried ignoring the attacks and absorbing the losses. Nothing worked. The Vakari saw humanity as prey, nothing more. They took what they wanted and destroyed what they could not carry. But this attack was different. This convoy carried medicine for a colony of 60,000 people. Without those supplies, thousands would die. Children would die. And the Vakari had burned it all for the fun of watching humans suffer. Admiral Marcus Stone received the news at Imperial Fleet Command on Earth. He was an old man now, 73 years of age, with gray hair and a face carved by decades of war. He had fought in the Mars Rebellion. He had commanded ships during the border wars. He had seen humanity at its worst and at its best. When he read the casualty report, something changed in his eyes. His aide, Commander Richards, noticed it immediately. "Sir?" Richards asked carefully. Stone set down the datapad and stared out the window at the blue curve of Earth below. "How many convoys have they hit this year, Commander?" 17, sir. 243 ships destroyed. Estimated civilian deaths exceed 12,000. And what has been our response?" Richards hesitated. "We have increased patrol routes and issued travel warnings. The Senate approved additional defensive funding last month." Stone laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Defensive funding. We have been playing defense for 20 years, Commander. We have been hiding behind our shields while they burn our people alive." He turned from the window. "No more." The message went out that same day. It was encrypted, sent only to the captains of the Imperial fleet's most capable warships. 37 vessels received the orders. They were scattered across human space, some patrolling trade routes, others stationed at colony worlds. Within 48 hours, they had all gathered at a single point in deep space, far from any inhabited system. Captain Vasquez brought the Meridian to the meeting point. She was not surprised to see familiar ships around her. The ice is thunder. The ice are relentless. The ice is Prometheus. These were not patrol ships or escort frigates. These were battle cruisers, heavy destroyers, and carrier vessels. This was a strike fleet. Admiral Stone's face appeared on every screen across every ship. His voice was calm but carried the weight of decades. "For 20 years we had accepted losses," he said. "We have told ourselves that the Vakari are too scattered to fight, too mobile to pin down, too dangerous to confront. We have been wrong. The truth is, we were afraid. We were afraid of the cost, afraid of the unknown, afraid of what we might become if we stopped holding back." He paused, letting the words sink in. "The Vakari believe we are weak because we value life. They believe our mercy is proof of our inferiority. They have raided our convoys, murdered our families, and laughed while doing it. They think we will never fight back because we have too much to lose." Stone's jaw tightened. "They are about to learn how wrong they are." The fleet received coordinates. Not one location, but 7. Intelligence had spent years mapping Ricari activity, tracking their ships, analyzing their supply chains. They had found the bases, hidden in asteroid fields, tucked inside nebulae, orbiting dead planets at the edge of the galaxy. 7 nests of Vipers. The fleet divided into 7 strike groups. Each group had one mission: complete destruction. No negotiations, no prisoners, no mercy. Captain Vasquez led Strike Group 3 toward a Ricari base hidden in the debris field of a shattered moon. As they approached, her sensors detected dozens of enemy ships docked at a massive station built into an asteroid. "They have not detected us yet," Lieutenant Park reported. "Their sensors are focused outward, toward the trade lanes. They never expected anyone to come looking for them." Vasquez nodded slowly. "That was their mistake. All ships, weapons free. Target the station's power core first. I want this over fast." The Marines' railguns opened fire. Tungsten rounds accelerated to a fraction of light speed, tore through the asteroid station's hull. Explosions bloomed in the vacuum. Ricari ships scrambled to launch, but they were caught unprepared. Human missiles found them before they could power their shields. The battle lasted 11 minutes. When it was over, nothing remained but debris and silence. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. Strike Group 1 annihilated a Ricari shipyard hidden in a gas giant's upper atmosphere. Strike Group 5 destroyed a base disguised as a mining operation in an unclaimed system. Strike Group 7 found and eliminated the largest Ricari fleet ever assembled, catching them during a celebration of their latest raid. The Ricari had never faced a coordinated attack. They had spent generations preying on the weak and the unprepared. They had forgotten what it meant to be hunted. Commander Threx was the closest thing the Ricari had to a leader. He commanded from a fortress built into a rogue planet, drifting through the void between stars. He believed himself untouchable. No one knew the location of his base. No ship could find a rogue planet in the endless dark. But humanity had spent 10 years searching. They had launched thousands of probes, analyzed gravitational anomalies, and tracked the movement of Ricari ships with patient determination. They found the rogue planet 3 years ago. They had been waiting for the right moment to strike. Admiral Stone led the attack on Threx's fortress personally. His flagship, the ISS Sovereign, emerged from jump space along with 12 other warships. The rogue planet roamed before them, a dark sphere illuminated only by the lights of the Ricari base. "Open a channel," Stone ordered. His communications officer hesitated. "Sir, our orders were—" "I know what our orders were. Open the channel." Threx's face appeared on the screen. He was a massive creature, his body covered in armored scales, his eyes burning with hatred. But beneath the hatred, Stone could see something else. Fear. "Human," Threx growled. "You have made a terrible mistake coming here. My fleet will—" "Your fleet is gone," Stone interrupted calmly. "All 7 of your bases have been destroyed. Every ship you sent to raid our convoys has been tracked, cataloged, and eliminated. You have no reinforcements coming. You have no allies. You have nothing." Threx's scale shifted color, a sign of distress among his species. "You cannot do this. The other races will condemn you. The galactic community will. The galactic community has watched you murder civilians for 20 years and done nothing. They called it an internal human problem. They told us to handle it ourselves." Stone leaned forward. "So that is exactly what we are doing." The Sovereign's main cannon charged. It was a weapon designed to crack planetary crusts, capable of delivering enough energy to vaporize mountains. Stone had hoped he would never need to use it. "You had 20 years to stop," Stone said. "You could have left us alone. You could have found other prey. Instead, you kept pushing. You kept killing. You thought we would never push back." Threx roared. "We are warriors. We take what we want. It is our nature, and it is our nature to protect our own." Stone nodded to his weapons officer. "Fire." The beam struck the Vakari fortress at its center. For a brief moment, the entire structure was outlined in white light. Then it came apart, fragments scattering into the void. The rogue planet continued its journey through the dark, now carrying only rubble. The news reached human space within days. The Vakari threat had been eliminated. Not contained, not negotiated, not managed. Eliminated. In a single coordinated strike, humanity had done what 20 years of diplomacy and defense had failed to accomplish. The galactic community reacted with shock. The Volanthi Federation sent formal protests, calling the attack an escalation of violence. The Kef Collective demanded explanations, warning that such aggression could not be tolerated. Admiral Stone read their complaints and filed them away. He had heard similar words before, every time humanity asked for help against the Vakari. The galaxy had been happy to watch humans die. They had no right to complain when humans stopped dying. Captain Vasquez returned to regular patrol duty after the operation. She thought about the battle sometimes, about the Vakari ships burning in the debris field, about the silence that followed. She did not feel proud. She did not feel ashamed. She felt only a cold certainty that it had been necessary. One evening, she received a message from a friend on New Helsinki. The colony had received emergency supplies from Earth just in time. The death toll had been minimal. Children who would have died were alive because humanity had finally stopped being prey. Vasquez read the message 3 times. Then she deleted it and returned to her duties. The Vakari were not completely gone. Scattered survivors hid in the deepest reaches of space, nursing their hatred, dreaming of revenge. But they never attacked another human convoy. They never raided another human colony. The memory of what happened when they did was burned into their collective memory. Generations later, young Vakari would ask their elders why they avoided human space. The elders would tell them stories of the night the sky filled with fire, when the prey became the predator and the hunters learned what it meant to be hunted. They would warn their children never to provoke the humans, never to mistake their patience for weakness. Because humans remembered their dead. They remembered every convoy lost, every colony burned, every child who never grew up. And when the time came, they collected those debts with interest. The galaxy learned a lesson that year. Humanity preferred peace. They valued life. They sought understanding and cooperation. But when pushed too far, when their mercy was mistaken for weakness, they reminded the universe why they had survived every challenge their violent history had thrown at them. They were not prey. They had never been prey. They had simply been waiting for a reason to bare their teeth. And the Vakari had given them one.